Yo, what's good? You don't know it's Ross Brown here in this thing. So, people have been asking me, people have been asking me about thoughts on a lot of fighting games and such at the moment. And I've got a bag of videos coming out for you. This is going to be one of the first one. We're just going to quickly talk about fighting Leia EX, which is looking the part. It's definitely looking the part. Yeah, first thing, I think people know now that I've made clear that I'm a very big fan of Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha. I really like that game. I'm doing more playthroughs of that game now, running some running a quick Kyrie arcade run through as I talk about this. So, fighting Leia EX. First thing I want to talk about is Rasta, actually. Because a lot of people are talking about this at the moment, because I feel that no one really has any knowledge about what the roster could entail. You know, when you look at it, a lot of the Street Fighter EX characters are actually Street Fighter characters. So it begs the question, you know, what are they going to do for roster? Is there what is going to happen here? And here's my take on it. They've already revealed who have they revealed? Skullomania, Darun, Garuda, Hokuto, and Kairi. So you know those five are already in there from the Street Fighter. Everyone knows those from the Street Fighter EX series. Besides them, I'm gonna call out some definites right now. Definites being, I can't see them not adding Alan Schneider. You know, one of their original fighting Leia characters was in Street Fighter Plus Alpha, was in 3 as well, I think. You know, and their own original Shoto. Blair Name, again, straight out of fighting Leia. Was in Street Fighter Plus Alpha. I can't remember if she was in any of the other Street Fighter EXs. Then we've got, obviously, Cracker Jack, Batman with a baseball bat. Like, I definitely can't see him. All these characters I'm naming now are the characters I can't see them not being in. They're, to me, like EX staples. So there's him. There's Pullum, which is the Kami like the Asian kind of Kami, if you will. And Doctrine Dark, of course. You know, the kind of like military assassin, whatever he is now. Besides that, I'm also gonna call out that I'm pretty sure that Vulcan and Rosso is gonna be in as well. Just because, you know, those characters I've named are iconic EX characters. Vulcan and Rosso is also iconic to EX2 Plus and EX3. I think he's just such a major character. A lot of people played. I think everyone kind of played him. And if they don't have him, it's pretty much guaranteed that I'll have someone that plays like him, and I imagine it will be based on Shang Feng, who is another character from fighting Leia. But I reckon I'll just put in Rosso. I like Rosso's design. I like how he looks. He's just very unique, and obviously he's on his Bruce Lee stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, speaking of fighting Leia, now in my head, this is how I see it. Fighting Leia was a crazy game in a sense that a lot of characters in that game just did crazy stuff that you wouldn't usually see characters do, like changing boxing gloves into you know, hammers, and all kinds of madness in that game. All kinds of guns, bazookas, all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, obviously, because they can't use Street Fighter characters, but they have their own batch of characters, in my mind what I'm thinking is that they're going to be using fighting Leia characters and maybe making them more like characters from Street Fighter, making their fighting styles, not completely, but changing their fighting styles so they play a lot more like the Street Fighter characters, their versions of the Street Fighter characters in Street Fighter EX. So here's my examples of where I think this is going to apply. Bison, again, is a big character in Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha. It's probably one of the best, one of the strongest versions of Bison in any Street Fighter game. I imagine him being replaced by Ignito, who is the boss in fighting Leia. Ignito, you know, kind of moves kind of crazy and aerial and weird like he does, so that's a very easy replacement to missing, you know, what I consider one of the crucial EX characters. Then you've got Dalsim. Again, a really amazingly made character in Street Fighter EX. Came a long way as well. Gets improved in Street Fighter EX 2 plus version of him is absolutely amazing. And I reckon that they might use a character called Capriccio, or it's pronounced something along those lines. He's basically a very weird, like, he's kind of like a monster, and he doesn't really, I don't remember him really playing anything like Dalsim, but you know, they might change him up so he functions more like Dalsim. This is a call out. Now Tetsuo, who I always recognised as the main character protagonist from Fighting Leia. I'm not too sure if that is the case, but I can definitely see them having him in as a replacement to Ryu. I don't think they'll make him a Shoto. I don't think he'll have, because he wasn't a Shoto before, so I don't think he's going to have fireballs and such, but I think Ryu's normals and combined with his own might make a brand new character in the form of Tetsuo from Fighting Leia. Then Chun-Li, obviously another quite big character from EX, Street Fighter EX. Easily replaced by Lan, who's, you know, just one of those type of, you know, Asian female quick fighter characters. And then finally Zangief, who is, you know, always been like top of the range in Street Fighter EX. And again, I just reckon he'll be replaced by the character Clements, who is obviously like the rest of them in Fighting Leia. So yeah, just based on, you know, the small options in their roster from strictly Street Fighter EX characters, I do reckon we're going to see some Fighting Leia characters. And I even reckon that their playstyle is going to be based somewhat off of Street Fighter characters from the EX series. Maybe combined with some stuff of their own as well, obviously. So yeah, that's my thoughts on characters coming from Fighting Leia. Then we got possible characters from EX. So this is a short one. This is mostly EX2 plus characters, and sorry about that one. And I'm straight calling this as we're gonna see Nanase, who is a staff user. She's the sister of Hokuto, the brother of Kairi, who are obviously both already in the game, so that's a good reason for her to be in there. And you know, she's just a weapon user, a bit different. You know, I mean, the Fighting Leia don't really care about who's got a weapon, what kind of weapons they are, whatever. They feature guns, the knives, swords, whatever. So, you know, you also got Garuda as well with the multiple kind of blade armor. So I reckon she's definitely a good call to possibly be in there. Hayate as well, just because, you know, straight up a big samurai with a big ass sword, who I think was quite liked in EX2 plus. Then there's Sharon, who's a secret agent spy who uses guns and such as well. Then you've got Shadow Geist, who is I think, I always hear this differently, I think Shadow Geist is meant to be like the villain for Skullomania, so you know, there's a real good reason for him to be in there then. But I've also heard that he's just another vigilante, just like Skullomania, so I'm not too sure if it is meant to be his villain or it's a tag team or what. But yeah, those are the possibilities I see coming from EX to be added into the game. And yeah, aside from that, the only other possible things I think could happen in terms of characters from those games is Tetsuo, who is a ninja in Fighting Leia, and you know, put him in there just to have a ninja in there. You know, what's a fighting game without a ninja character, right? They got samurais in there as well, so makes sense to even it up by having their own ninja in there. You used to do some mad stuff in Fighting Layer, man. Bare ninja stars and everything. Then there's Janice. Now Janice again is a crazy character. She had like guns and grenades and all kinds of stuff. And I reckon that there might be a story between, they might do something between, like, because Janice is like meant to be some kind of just insane woman. So I reckon there might be a story between her and Sharon, the secret agent. Possibly, I don't know. It's just a call of, I reckon if Sharon goes in, they might find a reason to put in Janice and change her up slightly. And then the only other possibility could be Ace, who is the kind of big main boss in Street Fighter EX, and he's essentially just, you know, got the best of everyone's moves, kind of like Ogre in Tekken 3. I don't think he's going to be in there. I honestly think that most likely, you know, I mean, there's so many bosses in EX anyway, but I honestly think that Voldig Naito might be the returning as the main boss for Fighting Layer. That's in my mind, but you know, they may do that kind of thing where they go, oh yeah, this guy's got a combination of these characters' moves again, kind of like the Cyclops from EX Plus Alpha as well. So yeah, don't really know. No, those are just very, like, you know, could happen, most likely not. It all depends. For two other characters that I would like in the game, just because they are really interesting, their playstyles are really interesting, or just for a bit of diversity, in fact, is Area from Street Fighter EX2 Plus. You know, it wasn't like the coolest design character, but she was really interesting to play. And then there's Joe Fendi, who they could throw in there. Like, they never had a DJ in their original class, so he was basically a boxer from Fighting Layer, and his boxing glove transformed into different things. So I don't know how they would change that up to make that work, but yeah, that's kind of it. So that's my thoughts on Fighting Layer EX roster. A lot of people aren't talking about it. Or, well, not that a lot of people aren't talking about it, a lot of people are just wondering, well, what actually are they going to do with the roster? So there's my thoughts on what I think they might try to do with it. It makes the most sense, getting the most out of what they've done with Fighting Layer and the Street Fighter EX games. And yeah, you know, that's it for the roster. So in my next video, I'll talk about very briefly about how I feel about Fighting Layer EX where it is at the moment. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think you know, I might be onto something, or am I just talking air, or whatever? You know, let me know what you think. Has anyone else had any decent theories of what might happen? Because literally, when I talk to people, no one has any clue what they think's gonna happen with the roster. So boom, that's me, Boss Brown. Don't know. Catch you up for the next video. Safe for tuning in. One love, bless. And yeah, peace. You don't know. Yeah.